All right, we're back, but unfortunately, this website isn't. We begin somberly. RIP DatPiff.com, shutting down after 14 years of service. Maybe it was 17, but what a service it was. DatPiff.com, world premiere, the GOAT. So, like, what I mean, like, so it shuts down. What was someone just like, you know what? Today's the day. Like, was it still providing like a great service? How was it making money? Was it ad revenue? But I mean, heck of a run.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wonder how, like, if it even was making money now, or like if
Right.
it was just like still there. Like,
Someone was just sick of, like, I don't know, posting all this leaked music. And they just finally decided to call it quits. How about this get? Tucker Carlson on Nelk. Just seeing the clips. Jack, any insight?
it,
Tucker Carlson's so smart by him.
yeah, it's on my list. That and the actually the Cole Sprouse on Collared Eddie are the two I am on my next up to listen to. But I'm interested to see. I only saw the Tucker Carlson clips too, like with the Zen and stuff,
Yeah, that was hysterical.
and he's like, I don't know, he kind of made me weak. Like when he laughed his ass off at the Zen joke, he's like, that's hilarious, dude. Like,
he's kind of corny. Like, he's
yeah,
just a corny, goofy dude who's getting paid like 40 mil a year. Yeah, it was just, it was crazy just to kind of see him. And I'm sure they talked about some stuff, but it seemed like a pretty mundane interview. Like, they just kind of asked him about non-politics stuff, if I'm getting that correctly. Like, they're asking about UFOs and shit, which was interesting. They talked a
I
lot
think
about
they
Canada. I'm like, all right.
I think they definitely probably dug a little bit into politics, but like just in the sense of like when he was flaming Canada about like how they're
No
like
testosterone or something.
yeah, like feminized culture and like all this shit. Like,
Correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but do the Nelk boys seem to be educated on politics?
Dude, not really. I mean, they're kind of in kind of in the same boat as, like, they don't really care about politics, but their string of guests is very, political by,
Well, yeah, they're
some.
grabbing all the divisive people.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's like, and it's smart by them because they're
Oh
looking
yeah.
for numbers. They're not trying to stir the pot, but they
Yeah.
know those people get numbers.
Those people sell.
Trump, Tucker Carlson, Dana, like, those guys run in the same circle, and it's a reason they kind of all got each other in line as
Oh, yeah.
guests. But
yeah,
it's
they also
interesting.
had Ben Shapiro on there,
Right.
and forgot what that girl's name is, who's like super Republican. It
Oh
was one of
God, Rapid City's own fucking Tommy Lauren or whatever.
it wasn't her. It
Oh.
was I know who. Yeah, it was. I forgot who it is, but yeah.
What did you think about the Cole Sprouse interview?
It's still on my list, but my girlfriend listened to it, and I dove deep in the TikTok clips, and like,
Yeah.
I'm just interested to hear because like I obviously grew up watching like the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and like he's become like he literally, you'll think this is funny, Dylan, in the middle of the interview, because he's like plays like the grungy like anti-hero. He's like, you mind if I need a cigarette for this. And he smoked 5 through the interview. Like in her, it's like in her studio's like in her house still.
There's no ashtray. He's just
Yeah.
doing it on the floor subtly.
he's got, like, a
Like
cup
he literally looks like a greaser from like The Outsiders. And like he's like using like super big words and stuff. And he was getting flamed on
Right.
TikTok. But
Shout out Aaron Platts. I saw, he goes, I might quit cigarettes after watching this. It's just the way he was smoking it. It's just like, yeah, it was very bizarre. But it's crazy because, like, he has, as you said, there's like a cult following of, we watched this kid when we grew up. And now, like, he hasn't really done much since Sweet Life and Zach and Cody, right? Except be famous kind of for being a
no, he
Sprouse
was
brother.
Dylan's more the one who didn't. Cole's like a regular on that show Riverdale, which like isn't anything, but like he's been on it since the start.
Yeah.
But Dylan like pretty much stopped acting and owns a microbrewery in Brooklyn and just kicks it. But I'm just interested to hear, like, because the clips I saw about they literally started acting at like 7 months old, and then their mom like literally like spent it. He doesn't talk to his mom anymore because she like spent a bunch of their money and was like a drug addict, and like, so it's just interesting. And then he talks about like what it was like behind the scenes on Disney and like what it's actually like with all the kids and stuff. And
You were saying, Alex?
No, I remember hearing about the mom thing. Like I forget when that happened, but that just unlocked that memory.
Stardom, child stardom, what parents do.
Yep.
It's crazy. I feel like there's been a lot to unpack. I mean, like you've heard about like T Morant, John Morant's dad, and now like what all John Morant's going through, 8 game suspension.
Yeah, 8 games. That's
Right. And like I was thinking of sorry, we're all over the place because but there was a lot that happened. Venture capitalist. You've got the SVB, Silicon Valley Bank failing, right? Banks are going crazy, and that's like it's crazy because it's a domino effect.
The bank collapse helped me out. I actually just bought a house, so that's fun.
Yeah, congrats.
And that collapse the other day could not have been better timing for myself. Like it wasn't, I wasn't waiting for that, obviously, but I was talking to my loan officer, and it's wild how, like you said, it's a domino effect. It sends stuff into frenzies. It brought my interest rates down over 1%.
That's
like,
epic.
Yeah, it's like just because everyone's freaking out and everyone's losing faith in the system. So
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack.
I was just gonna say I've seen like because of that like I work in like payroll and like with like a startup who deals with payroll. So like we like see a lot of like, and thankfully like we weren't connected to that bank, but like it is like rocked our industry. It's been like the whole thing all week.
Dude, Jim Cramer. Sorry, Alex. Jim Cramer. No. Like I'm seeing tweets from Jim Cramer where it's like he keeps saying like, "No, this is the bank you got to buy," and then a week later it fails. You got no, this is the bank. It's crazy, but yeah, like it's Roku's in it. Like Kathy Wood was all in on Roku, and it's just like, wait a second, Roku's cash is all in. Roblox was in there. I got out of the market, thank goodness.
What's the whole like significance of like were they not supposed to be bailed out by the government? I don't really understand how all that shit works. Like is that what FDIC is? Like it's federally insured or like
technically separate.
Right. So it's like up to $250,000 is insured. So it's like, all these big companies where they have to put this cash somewhere. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it with Silicon Valley Bank. And that's not insured because they're so rich and that's above. So it was not unlike what fucking this fraud dude, SVB, I already forgot his name, Sam, whatever his face.
It's kind of funny. SFB and SVB
making risky investments, with money, flush with money, to where all of a sudden, okay, investments go wrong. People start hearing murmurs, and it's like The Simpsons called it again, bank runs. That's where it's like, holy shit, people are unsteady. They start pulling their actual money out where you have been using that money elsewhere with the promise that it's going to come back tenfold. But then all of a sudden, when it comes calling, you can't get it quick enough, and it starts a panic.
Which let me branch off that. I was watching a video the other day where I don't know this dude, but some sort of another internet bro who's made a few million, right, and wants to try to teach the world everything he's done. Long story short, he like went through this whole video just to like, I guess, send a frenzy, but it freaked me out. He goes, I went to a bank and was like, I'd like to pull out 500K cash. Like, I know I have 500K, like, let's all agree I've got a few million in this account. And they called him back and they're like, hey, it's going to take 5 weeks for us to get that. And he's like, okay, well, let's drop it. So he drops it to the 250 insured. And this was his plan. He was expecting them to say, well, we have to order that amount. And then he was like, well, let me at least pull out the money you're insured for. It took him 5.5 months to get him 250K.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And
I mean,
it was just like, I did some more research, like not, your bigger banks are going to be a lot closer relationship with the Fed Reserve and get that cash. But it is a weird situation that a lot of us are probably very undereducated on.
And I think the reason people don't want to get bailed out again is because we bailed them out last time and it happened again, in 2008. It's like, okay, what, are we just going to keep doing this shit every 12 years? It's like, we need better laws, but then it's just going to get slogged through the, split house right now. Yeah, it was like, it's funny because I was hoping to do a core trades episode to kind of talk about it, but like, yeah, we kind of saw the rumblings, and then it was a domino, and like my buddy who thought the market was in for a tough year is kind of laughing, and then I think it was Monday, he goes, yeah, I totally jinxed myself. One of the banks that runs their payroll was like down 60%. It's like, oh Jesus Christ. We're getting emails like my mom and I are invested in like with this company that has like portfolios, and all of a sudden they're sending an email out, in the middle of the night. Hey, we've heard about this, don't panic. It's only in a couple, but everyone is sending those emails out, right? Like it's all about trying to manage the panic. But who's not panicking is Ryan Reynolds, who sold, I didn't even know he was involved in this, but this dude's business ventures has been crazy. He owns that soccer team, which is, gaining popularity. That in its own right is a great investment, but he owns Mint Mobile, which I had never even heard of, but he advertised with them. He owns it, and it gets bought out today for 1.5 bill. I think I saw.
Is that the liquor company you're saying?
No, Mint Mobile. He's like a small time wireless company that got bought by Samsung or some shit. It's like what? Who the hell uses Mint Mobile, and how did that sell? In the world of streaming now, like, do you guys know Sneeko? He's this guy. Heard of him. Yeah. He's a controversial guy. He's getting in a fight or something, and he's streaming himself with a gun, and it's like, dude, are you an idiot? But that was unrelated to Kai Cenat. He breaks the streaming record for most subs on Twitch. Surprisingly low, I thought. It was like only 650,000 or something subs.
I think it was 300K around there, maybe. Or at least when I saw the video, it was.
Well, most subs on what?
On Twitch.
Cool.
But dude, I thought about that too, Dylan, but like how 300 people is 100,000 people is a lot of people to think of, people who just dead ass just sit there and watch someone else do something.
Dude, he streamed for
like the only reason.
A week straight of him just living in his house, like 24 hours.
That's the only reason where I'm like, all right, like there's
that has to be kids. Or like high schoolers or middle schoolers who have nothing to do except get up now. Instead of going out and playing, they're going out and, watching Kai Cenat and Autumn Falls. When these guys start getting horny and, they're watching Aiden Ross just literally be on chat roulette. You know, like, it's like, why would we do that? But it's crazy that so they're
like the way of like connecting now. I think that's like what all this shit with like all of us being inside is like, all these kids just sit there and like feel like they're like hanging out with them.
Exactly. Like Clicks is another guy who I've just discovered the most I mean, these guys are cringy as fuck too.
Yeah.
But then that leads me to a broader question. Do name changes or just like one word, where like your name is one word? Is that the key to being famous? It's like Sneeko, Future, our guy Max Savage. That's not his real name. Glenny Balls. There's all these examples.
That's a really good point. And it
Drake, Drake.
This could very well be a cultural thing.
I did have some of my friends know me as Puck, which is my alter ego gambling self when I bet the ice. But
that is awesome.
I tried to go by Jack City for years.
I was just thinking Jack City was that's you. But maybe that's key. I mean, we do have like Wing is good for slang. Obviously, they know we're the crew there.
Yeah, I mean, I love that name. I just, as I got older, I was like, wow, this is pretty lame. I'm telling people to call me.
No, Jack City is not.
Yeah,
lame.
It's got to come back.
It's what OGs know he is.
Of course. This was funny as we just dip our toe back into sports, because this is what we would call a heady play. And I'm not sure if the internet fooled me or not by this, but so Jordan Spieth, so it's crazy. So golfers, you literally travel, to a tournament, and you have to make the cut to get paid, right? Otherwise it's a net loss. So making the cut's really important. Jordan Spieth's obviously with endorsements, he's made enough money, it doesn't matter. But he hasn't been great the last 5 years. He's having just an awful day. Hits the worst tee shot ever on the final hole. It hits a guy and ricochets to where he makes eagle and ends up making his money. So it's like, hey, thanks, I'll give him whatever he wants. And I don't think Jordan Spieth was ready for what this fan asked for. 20 Masters tickets memberships to 5 different country clubs, a new set of clubs, and like an all expenses paid vacation. It's like, because Spieth wouldn't have gotten a single paycheck if it wasn't for this guy's like shin that saved the tournament.
I'm on the idea of like, let's take it to arbitration and
like this was smart. And of course it was such a split on social media. Everyone's like, this fucking jackass. It's like,
right.
I love Jordan Spieth having to like, find members to let him into all these different country clubs and like doing footwork for this guy. But he has a point. He went from making 0 to probably, $500K at least.
And Spieth said it. You don't, I was taught at a young age, think before you speak, right?
Right. He I think he ended up with something bullshit. He got like a signed flag and then like free tickets or something.
Got a Bitcoin? Is that what it like?
Yeah. Oh my God. These guys are getting exposed. The guy Brady. Yeah, I'll give you a store credit to the Tampa Bay Bucks team store. Oh, by the way, I'm retiring.
More like you said, heady play to the spectator, because if it wasn't for things like Tom Brady being so publicized, like the Bitcoin for the balls thing, it's like, no. Everyone was pretty pissed about that one.
Basically enough of me as we get to the tea with Jack D, short and sweet. So I'm done with after this week, I'm about to head to Vegas and I'm done with my, 3 months of travel, and then we'll get back to killing it. And more of a set schedule. But Delta Sky Miles, Delta's got to sponsor me eventually. I love this company. They are for medallion members, free Wi-Fi, which is a game changer. I always thought about in like the Wi-Fi growing up, it was always spotty on the airplane. Now it is, God, I was streaming on it. Like, it's incredible. So let's get to some streaming picks. I want to amend my take on The Last of Us, if I'm allowed. Where are you guys at through it right now? It just wrapped up series finale.
I'm actually I've only seen the first episode. And
okay, so you're gonna binge.
Like Brendan and and my girlfriend are all gone this weekend. So and we had a big weekend last weekend. So I've been waiting, and I'm gonna watch it all this weekend around March Madness. But
Alex,
I just finished last night.
Okay, yeah. So my original take was this could be one of the greatest shows ever. Yeah, it is great. It is great, but it's not Game of Thrones. Like, I would put it a 9 out of 10. I had it at a 10 out of 10. Episodes 1, 2, 5, and 8, I loved. And 5 might be one of the greatest episodes of television I have seen in a while, which was when they were in Kansas City, Alex.
Oh, dude,
that was crazy.
Yeah, that's a good take.
Yeah. So it was like, but there was also 3 episodes I really did not like. And it was all right, let's not politicize it, but there was the 2 that obviously involved love scenes. And it was like, I was just kind of like, what are we doing here for 50 minutes? It's total, like, I'm here for the plot, the story. It was a great ode to the video game. I love Pedro Pascal. And it was, it's still kind of cheesy at parts, but not, So I give it a firm 9 out of 10. Jack, you're going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I loved the first episode. I thought the first episode was awesome.
That was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Just to back you up, I agree there. Me and some friends were talking about this while gaming last night. For some reason the show, like, it didn't keep me going. Like, I kind of paused while going.
It could have been 6 episodes. That would have been perfect.
And like you said, like, there's a couple of those episodes that I was really thankful that I waited a week and I watched 2 episodes in a row, because I was able to kind of like just forget that episode and be like, oh wait, that's better. Like,
right. I was not a fan of 3, I think 7 or 6 and 7.
Well, someone asked me a question about number 3, and to try to say the least, they're like, at the end of it, I couldn't stop thinking of like if it was even worth watching that episode. Like,
totally. No, seriously. It had nothing to, it provided, that was like for the video game. It was more for the actors. Like, what was crazy was they switched actors like, every 2 episodes, which was interesting. So you got to see a lot of cool performances, and then,
I heard there wasn't like as much zombies as you thought it was going to be, or was
that is an accurate take.
Yep.
Yeah, no, but
Which
overall,
might be,
great, not epic.
yeah. Leave it at that.
I finished season 4 review. Pretty damn epic. That was, I was
you're all
telling
caught
you,
up.
we talked with Cam. I was like, yeah, are we doing this again? I like the last 6 episodes of season 4, and it's crazy. It sets up for season 5.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I was kind of shocked at the end.
Oh my God, that was
I was
crazy.
like,
yeah.
whoa.
The end of if you check it out, Alex, You on Netflix, it's good binge. It's something different. It's interesting, kind of creepy, but thriller.
I didn't like seasons 2.
Yeah.
2 left me out of the show. I was like, screw this.
Yeah. I would say the first and fourth are my favorites right now. For you.
I'll get it back.
Outer Banks, I'm kind of fizzling out of here in season 2. I'm still sticking with it, Jack. Season 1 was cool, but yeah, like I like the characters, it is cheesy, but it's a cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm enjoying it, but it's not the greatest show on television.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just there. Like if you need something to watch, you can throw it on, and
it's like I'm not turning it off,
Nah.
So it's a good show. I'm enjoying it. But I'm halfway through season 2, and I'm kind of like, what we're doing? We're in the Bahamas, because I like the whole Outer Banks scenario, as you were saying, the whole scene. Kind of cool to just like learn a little bit more about the area,
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
All right, Tea with Jack D, but not before an ambiguous question that came upon my mind this past week, maybe 2 weeks ago. And maybe we can look this up. When did senior homes become a thing? Was it someone who was just like, I can't fucking do this anymore? It's like someone's got there's got to be a place to stick our parents. Like what generation was like, you know what? I've got a heady play. We all let them be old together somewhere.
That's a good point. Like, when did they? Well, I feel like back in the long ago, people just died.
17th century.
I don't know how true this is, but I did
God.
just come from one of the best. I did work for one of the best senior housing builders or contractors in the country.
But it's also it's an economy. These can't go away. It provides jobs.
I have never realized how much money these bad boys can make or lose.
There's a lot of fraud that goes into it too. Like in Florida,
my God,
holy shit.
Same with my
there's
grandpa.
that movie on Netflix about the fraud.
Yeah, my grandpa went to one, and then someone else. Oh, my grandma's in one, and my grandpa's experience terrible. My she's gotten healthier. She's way better than she was, and it's like she's walking. She's in the choir there. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, sometimes it's great. Yeah, like a great atmosphere. I think we've talked about it in episodes past. It's just like a frat house, we're 80 years old. We all get together. Just crazy.
That's a good question.
Right. I was just like, you know what? Oh, well.
Like you said, Jack, otherwise they would just
they would just live with you and,
dead weight.
Wither.
Well, I just mean also back in the day, you got old, there wasn't medicine. You just died.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Life expectancy was probably half.
Was low.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the Tea with Jack D here as we wrap up.
Wait, let me add 2 suggestions. So boy has made a random decision to go back and watch everything Star Wars in order. If you've seen the Disney Plus thing, I'm kind of regretting it, but I'm already too deep. So I'm trying.
I did that with Marvel once. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see the whole story because the movies supposedly don't capture everything. Anyways, nerdy side, fun side. I just binged pretty much all Jersey Shore that you can.
Okay.
And it could maybe be the most entertaining show I've watched in a long time because it is just ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
So if you want, start at season 2 and just give that season a good watch. It'll make you laugh.
I like it.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, where are we at? Okay. Andrew Tate lost his appeal again.
Tough.
Get out of prison.
Bro, have you seen photos of him like recently?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, someone
what?
goes city boys down bad. Dude looks tough.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Because like his hair's growing out and he's like clearly bald, but like in the Randy Corbett way. So it is like growing back like Albert Einstein.
Is this him? Or is this his
Yeah.
brother?
Yeah, no, that's him.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. That's brutal.
Tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would shave my head too in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they don't like give him the option to do that.
A straight razor, right? Well, I guess you don't get straight razors in fucking jail.
Well, and here's the reason he doesn't smile enough. He does not look as big and tough.
Yeah, that's a coy smile.
Sorry, this dude is just one of my least favorite internet people.
Tate.
Okay. No way this gets passed. I would kill for this to get passed. But a bill reintroduced for the 4-day work week for the American standard of happiness.
That would be epic.
That would be sick. The data, trust the data. The data says in the UK that production and like return on and whatever was either improved or stayed the same. It was all great. And people were happier. Dude, I would happily work an hour later or hour or two later at night to have Friday off.
You're right.
It's because we already procrastinate and bullshit enough during our 5-day week.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, and I'm like, holy fuck.
You're like, I'm done.
What did I do Monday and Tuesday? Like, I need to get going.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now the debate too with daylight savings, and like I think we talked like that would hurt farmers the most, right? Is like basically when they have different sunrise. I saw a map, like the National Weather Service sent it out. It's like here's who would be affected the most. It was weird. It was like diagonal.
Yeah, it is very. But we just had that same conversation because I went to a wedding on the night of daylight savings, and everyone's like, "Oh, we don't have it anymore." And I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure we still do." And
yeah. All right. We talked about John Morant getting 8 games.
Should have been more.
Yeah, interesting suspension. But NBA's got to get their playoff ratings. Grizzlies in the playoff first.
Oh, it's NBA. That's why.
Quentin Tarantino is preparing to direct his final movie. It starts filming in the fall, and all they know is it's about a female lead in the 70s in Hollywood or something.
Doesn't he say this every time? He says this is his last every single time, right?
What was his last? The Once Upon a Time?
Yeah. Which was good. It wasn't, his best, I think, but I guess I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I mean, the cast alone made it pretty good.
Yeah. Brad Pitt's great in that.
Instead of watching a series like a Star Wars in order, I should watch like Quentin's work in order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That movie's also why the crew only drinks whiskey sours now.
Really? Okay.
That's what Rick Dalton drinks.
That's a nice tidbit.
He actually does.
Reason I watch. Sorry.
Okay. I don't understand how this happened, but the city of Newark, New Jersey was tricked into becoming sister cities with a made-up Hindu nation created by an Indian scam artist. There's like a picture of them there's a picture of them like at the ceremony, like trading like piece of paper that they're sisters.
That's literally a Parks and Rec episode. Like that's hysterical.
So that's what I don't want to get on too big of a rant here, but that's what concerns me about some of our
politicians. It's like, what are we doing? It's like, okay.
Are we really electing people that don't know how to Google?
They're like us. They're on Wednesday. They're Wednesday. Shit. What the fuck am I doing the rest of the week? All right, let's find a sister city.
Or like that video the other day of Biden giving the 5-minute speech, and then he tried to walk towards the door, or like it was like he just walked away. The Pope, this is kind of crazy, suggests that the Catholic Church reconsider its requirement for celibacy for priests.
Oh, so they're saying they don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Well, then Catholicism is standing on nothing at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. This is kind of crazy, Dylan. Colorado and Washington aren't.
Sorry, but do they think that's going to stop the molestation of?
I think that's
boys?
the goal. But it's kind of like, okay, so like.
But it's been like Sorry, I'm going to get on a rant because
No, I get what
No,
you're
I
saying.
feel that. Spotlight was
It's
one of the
like-
craziest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Sorry. Go on to the next one. That's just going to piss me off.
This makes no sense to me, but this is just just literally robbing people because there's no way they can keep this a secret that Washington and Colorado are in talks to make betting on the WWE outcomes legal, which is a scripted sport. And they're like, oh, we'll keep it under wraps. And it's like, how do you keep it under wraps?
No, that was crazy. Yeah. And the way they were discussing it is just like, yeah, we're not going to tell the fighters till an hour before, or the word's going to get out somehow. If you see that line moving in any way, you're going to be like, what the fuck is up here?
Yeah.
It's just that the floodgates, baby. I mean, we're going to be betting on dogs racing here again, shortly. We're moving backwards.
Yep.
But like, is the XFL scripted, and that's the NFL?
Yeah.
That's what bringing up all the talk about the NFL being scripted, like all that hype over or pre-Super Bowl made me think. I was like, well, even more reason to think the XFL is just the scripted.
Dude, my buddy is 19-2 in XFL bets. Like, he has the script. I've been tailing his ass. He can't lose.
I would, yeah. Like, what are they going to do? Make Battlehawks lose and selling out season? No, like they're going to keep highlighting it and be like, "Oh, you guys came in second."
That was epic. A little sellout there back in STL.
Elon has purchased thousands of acres outside Austin, Texas, to create his own town, Snailbrook, Texas, for any Tesla employee to live at. It's going to literally be like a little cult.
There's a place out here, like Target headquarters, right down the street, and then it's like, right next to its headquarters is an apartment building, restaurants. It's like that's the name of the game now, is like little communities for these big businesses, I guess.
It's the name. It's what the Saudis are doing. It's what U.S. investors are doing.
That's what's interesting about WWE, because isn't it that Saudis now? They're like, oh, wait, we should be getting some of that money. They're smart businessmen.
Oh, yeah. They know. They've been smart businessmen since the 20s or whenever serious.
Since senior homes were invented.
Yeah.
They probably created them. That just reminded me of the Saudis is like Club Live in Miami.
Yeah.
Live Golf right now is like probably going to get in a lawsuit pretty soon, but they're trying to trademark the downward, like how Club Live's logo is like the LI downward. And Club Live's like, dude, we've had this for like literally since we've been open.
I think Live Golf is in some trouble. Like, so they have an event this weekend. Keep an eye on some crowd shots there. I like the last tournament I saw, and I guess it was down in Mexico. It looked empty. I don't know about this one in Tucson.
I wonder how much of a, from the business side, how much of a driving force the in-person crowd is compared to like whatever their deals are with TV.
Well, I mean, they're on the CW, so it's not going well. I think they're trying to get there's some people in the seats.
Yeah.
And then for suggestions, we talked about Outer Banks. The first episode of the last season of Ted Lasso came out today.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to be the last one. I'm going to give Ted Lasso another shot.
It's just it's a good message. It's a feel good. Then in 2 weeks, Succession comes
also
out.
Last season, right?
Yes, also last season.
I'm gonna have to rewatch like all just kind of leading up to it. That's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's this movie on Netflix called Luther that's about this like serial killer, like Idris Elba's the cop. I didn't know he was on like this like British crime show for like 8 years where he was the main detective.
Yeah, what was that called?
It's called Luther.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. The show was too. Yeah.
The movie's called like Luther, like, and then like some title after it, but the show is called Luther. I literally started watching it because
you're right.
Crime shows.
Yeah, I think I gave that a shot too.
Yeah,
it's one of the top British psychology crime thriller.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty fucked up, like Criminal Minds. So I'm enjoying it. But then for some documentaries, I watched the Malaysian airline flight documentary.
Oh, that came out. Is it
Yeah.
crazy?
Holy, I mean, yeah, it's just like, what is going on
I
here?
gotta watch that.
Yeah, you should watch it. There's like 5 different conspiracy theories, and it could easily be like any of them.
And they cover like all of it?
I saw the preview and I was immediately hooked.
Yeah, they go like, you're like, what? Like,
and I was a huge Lost fan, so like I'll eat this shit up.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but definitely check it out. Okay. And then one I don't know if I'll be tuning into, but it came out. I don't know if I can say this on here, but it's called Money Shot, the Pornhub story.
Okay.
And it's on Netflix about like how it got created and stuff.
And then, you're not checking it out?
I might check it out. We'll see. And then in a couple weeks, like another deep dive one, like the like the Malaysian airline flight one, but it's like a real on the Waco shit that happened. Like,
okay. There have been like so many of those. I'll have to.
Yeah. Well, there was like the one where they had an actor play it, but this is one of the Murdaugh type murder things where they like dive into it. So, and that's a pretty crazy story because he was like a cult leader, like locked himself in a church for days with like people. And but yeah, that's what I got.
Good stuff. That's the Tea with Jack D. Did I have any I heard Cocaine Bear was not great. Anyone seen that? No. That's one of those new movies.
It's weird though who directed that is
Elizabeth Banks, right?
Yeah, that's so weird.
What else did I have? Everything Everywhere All at Once won the Oscar. Is that good? Have you seen it?
Me and Platts watched it one night and it's one of those movies where it like wins a bunch of Oscars, but you're like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
Thank you for saying that, because I watched the first 15 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm out on this. And then months pass, it wins the Oscar. I'm like, should I watch this again? And no, it's nothing.
I did not enjoy it.
If you don't fuck with it, I'm not fucking with it.
And Platts was like, what was that? And
what the heck? The description is when an interdimensional rupture unravels reality. Yeah. I'm like, what is?
And the first 15 minutes are in subtitles. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm out.
It's so hard to follow. I was like, Platts, we just wasted a fucking Friday watching this.
That's why we're here for you guys. We sort the good from the bad. That's the Tea with Jack D. Last to get us out of here. What are the odds? Am I going to finish up or down for the week in Vegas? Up.
Oh, Dylan, here's a question. You got any like sleepers making out of the first round?
It's crazy. So there's some trends. You've seen the trend going on. That's like the 100% of champions play at least in their semifinal for the conference tournament. So that you want to look at that too. I think I went back the last 15 years, ESPN has that basketball power index or whatever. The last 15 years, it's been a team in the top 25 of the basketball power index. 13 of those 15 years, they've been in the top 6. So like it's even that more refined. However, the 2 years that they weren't in the top 6, it was UConn twice. So it's like, I kind of like UConn this year. I think the 1 and 2 seeds are a little bit overrated. And here's a trend that's happened since the Virginia, or maybe it was the year before, but the last 4 champions the year before, they did not make it past the first weekend. So they didn't make it to the Sweet 16. So that was Virginia that obviously lost to the 16 seed, then went on to win Kansas and Baylor. And I think it was Villanova before that. So looking for some of those teams. I just don't like Drake over Miami, but I feel like that's too popular almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. It should be interesting. You guys have thoughts?
SEMO's out.
This isn't really a sleeper, but I bet quite a bit this season on West Virginia, so I think they make it out of the first round against Maryland.
I'm seeing is that the 9 seed? Yeah, I'm seeing everyone on West Virginia.
And didn't Maryland kind of fall apart last year?
Yeah. How about I think the Mountain West has lost like 10 straight games or something, and they're favored against Mizzou. It's like, wait, come on.
Yeah.
I heard that they have like one of the worst chances. And I'm like, oh, well, here's Mizzou. Like, they also probably have the worst chance.
Mizzou's going to
I know some people I just don't. A lot of people I've heard, well, not a lot, but some people are taking Arizona to win it all, and I just don't see that.
No, yeah. I
Yeah,
also
it's
like
close.
I like thinking coaches that have done it before too. Like can Michigan State make the Final Four? Down in that bracket because Shaka Smart's a choke artist, Matt Painter's a choke artist. A lot of people like Tennessee. Rick Barnes is a choke artist.
It's also a good point.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you this weekend. Good stuff, boys. We'll talk to you next week.